Hey, this is Matt once again. What about 10 other videos? This is another paid request. It's time for Nick B. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. It was probably the best way to do it, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. So, my top 10 favorite films of 2022. Now, actually, there were quite a few films I did like, and I could have made a top 15, maybe a top 20 if I pushed it. Because I know I enjoyed films like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I enjoyed The Unbelievable Weight of Massive Talent. And there were a few others I did enjoy, but I wanted to kind of shrink it down to 10. So here's the 10. And funny enough, like 2022 is actually a pretty good year for movies in terms of there's a lot more I liked than I expected. So number 10, I put Carter. This is a film that gets completely crapped on and completely discombobulated in terms of reviews, and it has like a 5.1 IMDb. At the very least, for the action scenes and the way they're constructed and how they're trying to make it look like all in one take, how the whole movie's trying to make it look like it's all in one go, I commend the effort. I commend the hard work they put into it. Yes, at times there's too much CGI. At times it's not the most depth in terms of characters. But as a fun movie visual experience, I really did enjoy it. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I do think it's a bit underrated. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. And I liked it a lot more than that one RRR, that's the thing that dumbfounds me. Like the things that people complain about with Carter, you just say the same thing about RRR, but worse. Like, that also has really bad CGI. And that film is a lot longer at 2.5 hours long. But why is it that that film gets a pass, but Carter gets the shaft? I don't understand that at all. I'm sorry, I don't. I think Carter is a shorter film, it's a faster paced film, and those action scenes are much more enthralling to me. So, I had the plot pretty straightforward. A guy wakes up, can't remember who he is, has this thing on the back of his neck. He's got to escape, and within 5 minutes, he's fighting like 100 guys in this bathhouse, all done one take, stabbing people, slices people up, going here, going there. I'm like, holy crap, what the hell is this? There's crazy car chase scenes where there's like 3 cars, and he's in one, jumping to the other, find this guy, then jumping to the other, and jumping back. All done in one take. There's a bit with a train, or he's getting on top of the train and moving a crane to derail his helicopter. He's getting on the helicopter, hanging around, then dropping it back on the train. And that's where I have to see why CGI had to be used for safety reasons. So yeah, Carter, I just... Sadly, because it was Netflix, that's not going to have a physical release. But I did quite enjoy Carter. Would love to see a sequel. Probably won't be, because I'm one of the only people that liked the film. But ooh, RRR, fuck RRR. Overrated fucking shitty fucking movie. In my opinion. Sorry, I thought Carter was much better. In my opinion. So I'm getting angry because of all the crap I got for not liking RRR, where people would call me racist and stuff because I didn't like the film. So it makes me hate that film more. I didn't hate the film. Now I do hate the film because you want me to hate the film? Fine, I hate the film. Makes you happy? There you go. Now I hate it because of you. I didn't hate the film in my review, but now I do because of these folks' overzealous reactions. But anyway, that's a whole other deal. But Carter, number 10. Number 9, I put Violent Night. I enjoyed Violent Night. I thought David Harbour did a really good job. It would have been cool to see someone like Mel Gibson if he had not done that movie Fat Man, or James Woods or something else. Hell, Billy Bob Thornton in a different type of Santa, like Bad Santa. It would have been very interesting to see that. But I thought David Harbour did a good job. I didn't mind John Leguizamo, but I don't mind him as an actor. I thought the action scenes. I wish there was more in the first half, to be fair, but I thought the finale was very fun, especially in the barn, the shed, where he's using ice skates and these sledgehammers and all sorts of implements against the bad guys. I thought the bits between him and the little girl worked really well. Don't really care much about the supporting family, especially their, like, was it cousin, uncle, aunt, cousin, whoever the hell. There's a douchebag streamer guy. There's the idiot who's a wannabe action hero, and then his wife. Didn't care about any of those people. Could have easily been taken out, either taken out or taken out. But David Harbour and the girl, I liked their friendship. I liked their conversations with each other. It's kind of interesting, potentially, of the backstory of Santa that I'm guessing they didn't delve much into in hopes of a sequel. But who knows if a sequel would even get made. And I think the action scenes were rather well done. Some done in one take. The violence, it lived up to the word Violent Night. Decent usage of Christmas decorations and songs. Violent Night was a fun movie. So I put that number 9. Number 8, The Gray Man. This is another film that sadly will not get a physical release because it was Netflix. I thought Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans did a really good job. Ryan Gosling, I think, worked well as the lead. Chris Evans was having a lot of fun as the villain. The action scenes, there's some really good ones. In particular, this one in the main street with this trolley car. So really, sometimes, again, too much CGI being used, but there's a lot of also good practical work in there and stunt work. Again, at times, sometimes too much CGI, like when he's falling from the plane and the plane's exploding and all this stuff. At times, sadly, a bit of CGI overload. But again, I really like the hero. I really like the villain. I had enough fun action set pieces. The story might not have been the most original, but I'll take over any of the Bourne Identity films because those films bore the ever-loving hell out of me. So The Gray Man I really liked. Would have been nice to see a physical release of that. Number 7, Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday. I thought Scott Adkins did a really good job with that movie. Scott Adkins, I think he's had a pretty decent track record lately with One Shot I really enjoyed, and Accident Man 2, Avengement. And Accident Man 2, I thought Scott Adkins was having a lot of fun with his performance. He had a good sense of humor. He had some really good fight scenes that really showcases Scott Adkins' skills as a martial artist. Some pretty interesting, colorful villains. The guy who has to protect, he got really on my nerves, but at the same time he was supposed to get on your nerves, but at the same time some of the humor, like, was it digging through shit to find a key? Some of the humor fell apart and wasn't that funny. A lot less of that would have gone a long way. But I did like his other buddy with the shorter fat guy with the glasses. I liked him. He kind of reminded me a bit of Bob Hoskins. And Scott Adkins, I liked this girl that he hired to keep him on his toes and beat him up. Kind of like the Pink Panther would do. Inspector Clouseau would do. Was it Kato? They have a similar thing in that. I thought that was a lot of fun. Accident Man Hitman's Holiday was pretty entertaining. I don't know if that's on physical release. If so, I have to pick that up with the first one. Number 6, I put Nope. I liked Nope. Thought this was a pretty good movie. I thought it was much better than Us. I liked this lead guy, Daniel Kaluuya. who was in Get Out. I get why his performance was the way it was, because that's the story he was telling, is that he's much more of a guy that's in his shell, while his sister is much more of the outgoing lady. And that's kind of the different dynamic between the two. One's much more quiet, while the other is much more outgoing. I like the whole bit with the spaceship. I like the idea of what the spaceship was. In this case, a living creature. The seeds of violence, risk, and opportunism that are inseparable from the romanticized history of the American West, and from show business itself. Yeah, how far do you risk for the opportunity to get the next shot, or to get famous, or to get seen and known, as people tend to do, whether filming themselves in dangerous situations or dangerous stunts or things of that nature. But at the same time, I thought it had some good pieces of supporting cast, including Stephen Yeun and Michael Wincott. I thought it was pretty well directed. The scene where you see a little remnants of these people inside the belly of the beast remind me a little bit of Fire in the Sky. These two working together to defeat this thing. I have not seen the 56-minute behind the scenes. But yeah, I really like to know about this. I figured I would hate this film, and it kind of pulled me in and really enjoyed the story. Really grew to like the characters. Like the B movie thing with the UFO. I thought, oh, that's kind of a fun, cool idea. So that's number 6. Number 5, I put Bullet Train. Really had a lot of fun with Bullet Train. Brad Pitt did a good job as this guy that his luck isn't actually, you know what? This is number 5. I'd probably say I like this a little bit more than this. Number 5, I put Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Because this one, while the stuff with the human characters, with the whole wedding, really brought the film to a screeching halt, I think if you edited all that out, I would put it above this. But with that, it goes down a notch. But I did like this film. I thought it was a worthy sequel. I thought the way Sonic, he was still likable. The usage of Knuckles and Tails I thought were a nice introduction to those characters. Jim Carrey's still having fun as the bad guy. There's still some pretty entertaining action sequences. I'm curious of a third film and what they'll deal with and incorporate. Like I said, still a worthy sequel, still a fun sequel. I still did quite like it, like I did the first one. And then number 4, I'll put Bullet Train. Like, this has a Tarantino type aspect with its dialogue. The cinematography of the train is very colorful, bright lights of neon, of blue or red, and the cast of characters. I mean, even Aaron Taylor Johnson surprised me, because usually I'm not a big fan of him, but he was actually pretty good in this movie, along with his buddy here. And I really like Brad Pitt's character. Really liked his character as this guy that either has the best or worst luck, however you want to put it. Always great to see Sandra Bullock in there. Like I said, a bit too much CGI, especially in the third act, but this is a lot of fun. When I had pretty good fast pace. Really like Bullet Train, so that'd be number 4. Number 3, Sally is not released on physical media, but number 3 would be Rescue Rangers. That was a nice, pleasant surprise. I never would have thought I would like a new Rescue Rangers movie that's a live action film. But It was actually pretty clever. It was actually pretty funny. It was pretty, at times, pretty heartfelt. I thought it did right what. You have these films. What was the Melissa McCarthy one? The Happy Time Murders, or Space Jam 2. Like, what these movies did wrong, Rescue Rangers did right. For the most part, the jokes and the meta seem pretty clever, whether it be the ugly Sonic or how it incorporated other aspects into it. The use of the human characters was not overwhelming, so it didn't take the spotlight off of the main characters. The title characters are the main stars of the film. Like I said, it has a good, smarter than you think sense of humor to it. I thought that was pleasantly surprising. The villain I thought was a nice touch. It being Peter Pan. That was surprising. Didn't expect that. And overall, again, it's like Space Jam 2 done the right way. Number 2, I put Day Shift. I wish Day Shift had a Blu-ray. I would love to pick it up. Love Day Shift. Jamie Foxx, Vampire Hunter. You got Snoop Dogg. You got Dave Franco. You got great usage of body count. Body counts in the house. Body count. Shotgun fun. Kicking ass, taking names. Scott Adkins and his buddy. How Jamie Foxx in this house, this place full of vampires. Scott Adkins kicking ass, taking names. Just awesome, well done action sequences done in the same vein as the John Wick movies. Jamie Foxx having a good sense of charm and charisma. His stuff with Dave Franco may seem typical, but at the same time, it's typical as in it reminded me of a 90s movie. Or it reminded me of another film that I liked called Bright with Will Smith. So I thought they did a good job with that. Like, Day Shift reminded me of a 90s film. And to be that in a good way. Like, Day Shift would fit well in the 90s. I guarantee it'll be better than the fucking new Blade film. Again, sadly, there's no physical release for it. But really like Day Shift. Pretty much all these movies I've done fuller, longer reviews. That's why I'm kind of not going in depth onto them. And number 1, I really enjoyed The Batman. I thought that I liked that it was a mystery movie. I liked that it was a detective movie. Robert Pattinson is the best Batman to me since Michael Keaton. Sorry, I put him above Christian Bale. I put him above George Clooney or Val Kilmer. Michael Keaton's still my favorite, but I really enjoy Robert Pattinson. When the action scenes happen, I thought they were well done. The music is fantastic. The musical score was stellar. What people felt about Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy is how I feel about this. That's the best way I would put it. Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, I was ho-hum about. Not really big on Batman Begins. The Dark Knight, I liked Heath Ledger. Dark Knight Rises, I think sucks. But how you feel about that, and people love those films to death, is how I feel about this. I like that it was mostly about Batman in a Batman movie. It was mostly him in the costume. I like the idea of a guy that is all about vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. And then he's like, no, I need to be a hero. I need to help people. And that turn of events, I don't know why that's such a bad thing. Just people complain about that. He doesn't do anything. He saved the people at the end. I don't know what movie you saw. I saw him. They were ready to kill the mayor and all these other people, and Batman beat the shit out of them and saved their lives and led them to safety. Saved them from being electrocuted. I mean, I saw that at the end here. Did people have that edited out of their version? Yeah, the movie's a bit long. It didn't need to be that long. Yeah, I'm not humongous on Catwoman on this. I mean, she's alright, but definitely no Michelle Pfeiffer. Although I'll take this Catwoman over the fucking one in Dark Knight Rises, Anne Hathaway. Although this has some stupid lines of dialogue. And overall, yeah, I really did enjoy this film. Really, really liked it. And as a guy that's really tired of superhero comic book movies, the Batman was a nice, pleasant surprise. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.